This is day 6 of the build report. I haven't posted in a few days, and honestly, the gap just says everything about this process and what it really looks like. It's not a constant process, it's not linear. Sometimes you do stall out, and that's where I've been. I'll give you an idea. Hurdles that I've had is obviously on day 3, a bit of an issue setting up the travel newsletter, trying to automate the deals so that they come through an RSS feed and connecting that all through Beehive, which I'm using for the newsletters. To clarify as well, I do have a couple businesses that I do run. I have a real estate business as well as a marketing and automation business. And so this is, for myself even, is a part-time thing. So I don't have 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week plus to be able to work on this. So I hit a bit of a wall that I really wasn't expecting to hit. I've done it before, which is, I want to say, is the worst part. I know I've done this before on a different type of automation, but still, it's like I've done RSS feed automations. So I'm just a little frustrated myself. It sounds simple enough, but yeah, ran into a bit of a wall. Some of the feeds aren't pulling right with make.com, and then just finding the right feed has been a bit of an issue too. That's where kind of running into that issue. And to that, a few days, I just wasn't feeling it to sit down and go through. And that's part of the business. People don't usually show you the mental dip, the idea, and the execution. That's kind of where I've been for the last few days. When you're publicly documenting, as I am, I feel sometimes that there's a pressure to keep showing progress. But the truth is, these slow and messy days are part of the build. I want the build report to show every stage, not just the wins, but also the stalls, the fixes, the reboots. And that could very well happen. We could see a point where kind of start over from scratch, maybe just a segment of the business or maybe the whole business in full. I want to be able to show you every stage, because if I hide that, I'm doing exactly what the gurus I talk about do. They show the polished version, never the process. So what am I fixing next? First, I'm going to simplify the automations. Instead of pulling every deal in the world, I'm going to start with 1 or 2 reliable feeds, just enough to populate daily content manually until I can automate it very cleanly. Second, I'm going to be settling on a structure for publishing. Even if the automation isn't perfect, the newsletter still needs to go out. Third, I'm also documenting everything, every fix, every connection, every roadblock, so that I can turn this into a playbook for future newsletters in the portfolio. The other thing that I really need to keep in mind is that momentum beats motivation, and just trying to keep myself plugging away will get past through the lulls. So for the bigger picture, this is what building a $100 million newsletter portfolio from $0 really looks like. Some days you're designing logos and recording content. Other days you're buried in APIs and spreadsheets, wondering if you should just scrap it all. So even though the past few days were rough, I'm back in motion, and I'm going to push this thing live piece by piece until it works. If you want to follow the build report as I build this in real time, you can subscribe to the newsletter at ryanparker.co. I post daily updates, behind the scenes breakdowns, and systems I'm using to build the portfolio. And if you want to connect with other builders who are watching this unfold, join the free Skool community. The link is in the description. I'll see you in day 7. Let's keep building.